Proof, what is it and should you have it in place in your company? Hi, I'm Kimberly Shapcott, qualified chartered accountant, property investor and entrepreneur. Let's sit down and have a chat. What is proof? Now, it may be something you think, what the hell's this? It may be something you're not even aware of, but proof is a free service offered by Companies House, really to protect the details of your company. By putting proof in place with Companies House, it means that you have to deliver electronic documents for specific documents so that key information cannot be changed without you having that company authentication code in place. Now, if you don't know what your company authentication code is at this exact moment, hopefully your accountant does, or you've got it on a sheet of paper. If not, what you can do is you can apply for it online and they will send you a copy of it to your registered office address. So don't worry if you've not got that code. However, that is the key code, because then only someone with access to that authentication code can actually update certain things for your company. So let us start today with the things that this service really helps and protects you and your company, because the key thing here is when you're going for lending, when you're going for any purchase of any property with your company, the one thing that the solicitors, the lenders are all going to be doing is likely looking at Companies House to check that the information that is held on Companies House agrees to the information that they are being provided with. If there is any discrepancies, then there may be issues and delays in your purchase or your sale of any projects that you have got ongoing. So it's kind of quite a crucial piece of information to make sure your Companies House settings are all correct. And proof is one of those ways of protecting against someone stealing your company or putting in illegitimate or fraudulent forms so that you are kind of losing control of your company without realizing it. So the key forms that it prevents anyone from changing is things like your registered office address. So they can't change where the post is going to. They can't change the officers of the company. So they can't terminate someone as a director, they can't appoint someone as a director or a company secretary. And another area that is very crucial is that they can't change the company name or do anything in that guise either. The key reason for some of these protections is because companies are being hijacked. And when I say they're being hijacked, literally 50 to 100 companies per month are being hijacked from the legitimate owners of that company. And by putting things like proof in place, it's just that extra step to try and protect what is yours so that someone can't hijack your company. So you may say, how do you go about joining proof? Well, it's a really simple process. And the main thing is you need to log into Companies House on your company with your company authentication code. And then you need to click on Join Proof. It will then take you through the process of authorizing it, and then it will set it up online on your company. So that if someone tries to file a appointment of director form, for example, and sends it in the post, it will get rejected because it's not been submitted online, which means to appoint someone or terminate someone in the future, you'll just have to log on, or potentially your accountant may have to log on to enable you to jump on and make those changes. It's a relatively simple process, but could be quite a crucial process to protect you, and if you have got a number of properties in your company, the assets that you have purchased in your company. You may say, I don't know if I'm actually registered for proof or not. So there is a simple way of seeing whether you are protected or not, and that is that there is a padlock shown on Companies House when you log in, which will show if the padlock is locked, that means you have proof in place. If it is unlocked, you don't have proof in place, and it's just a matter of getting it set up. If it's in progress, it does show you that it's in progress, so that can just make sure that you are getting things set up. It is a relatively quick process to get it set up, so it's something that I definitely encourage anyone who's got a company to make sure that they've got this simple process in place that Companies House have put there to help protect the legitimacy of companies and make sure that these hijackings are minimised as far as possible. Generally, there's only the odd occasion where you cannot join proof, and this generally is where there's internal disputes and there is issues between the parties. And in these sorts of cases, they don't let proof get set up because it may not be possible with everyone having access to do certain things, and they don't want to be seen to be favouring one party or another party. So on that basis, in these minimal circumstances, which hopefully aren't going to be happening to you, there may be a limit that you cannot join proof at that point in time until those disputes are made. You can leave the proof scheme if you find that you're not able to do certain things that you need to. You are able to leave the scheme, and again, it is a relatively straightforward process. You simply need to click on the leave proof, and it then will confirm to you that you've left the proof scheme. This may be needed if you are looking at making some changes, and actually doing all the forms from a paper point of view may be the easier approach. However, if you are doing that, I would suggest you join proof again when you're in a position to actually get everything in place so that you can be protected as far as possible. Let me now just take you through some of the forms, or all of the forms that are protected and what they are, so you can just understand what is being protected and what isn't being protected. So the first one is your annual confirmation that you'll need to do online. In effect, that's probably a positive because it is actually cheaper to file the paperwork online. At the minute it's £13 and £40, which is going up from the 1st of May 2024 to a higher figure. So in doing it online, it's cheaper to do it that way, as well as the fact that it just makes sure that your company information is kept up to date. This one is a legal requirement, so one way or another it will have to be done each 12 months. So the key thing here is to make sure you do have your company authentication code so that you can get in and do the company's confirmation statement each year. The next couple of forms are all very similar in approach really, because the next bunch of forms are all the appointment forms. So they're the appointment of director, of secretary, of corporate director, corporate secretary. So they're all the forms basically that are changing the people who are controlling the company. So this is quite a crucial bit because we don't want to be finding we've got fraudsters who are getting in as directors, potentially taking out credit cards, taking out bank loans, saying that they're a director of the company, when in fact they're not a director of the company. They've come on fraudulently to get this finance, and they're going to run away as soon as they get the money in their bank account and leave you with this massive loan that the company now has to pay because the company is the one that has signed into the loan agreement, even though it has not been you. So as you can see, there is quite a crucial point here that we want to make sure only appropriate people are the appointed officers of the company, the directors, the company secretaries, so that they can't be doing anything untoward. The next form is the change of details form, which might seem a bit strange, but this is where potentially someone could be stealing identities. So this is very much the change of maybe an address details on company's house, and in changing the address, rather than the post coming to you, it goes to the fraudster. And in the post going to the fraudster, they can again be doing illicit things like setting up loans, setting up agreements with different people that you don't have any agreement with, but because the company is signed up to it and you as the individual, even though it wasn't you, is the person that has now done it. So now you're in a battle to try and say, it wasn't me, this has been done fraudulently. So by making sure that the details cannot be changed apart from online with the appropriate authentication code and the protection, this is a way again of making sure that you are protected. The final one in this section of forms is the termination of director or company secretary, corporate secretary or corporate director forms. And again, as you can see, this is all in that area of protecting you. So all of a sudden you can't find you are a director and then someone's got rid of you and put themselves in. So now you no longer have control of your own company, which obviously is not what you were planning on doing. And so on that basis, it's just protecting the controlling parties of the company to make sure only the appropriate people can be added or taken off as the controlling persons in the company. The final couple of forms are just general forms. One is change of the registered office address, as we've mentioned already. So this is just making sure your post is going to the appropriate place, that no one's hijacking the company and getting all their paperwork sent to their address or an address selected by them, which again is just protecting all that information, that you're not suddenly getting loan paperwork come through and you think, what's this? That would then hopefully highlight that there's something funny going on for you to address and deal with, so that nothing is being done fraudulently or illicitly. The final form, therefore, that has to be done online under the proof scheme is the change of name, which again, you don't want someone hijacking your company, changing your name, taking your properties, taking your assets that you've got in your company and walking away because they've changed the name, and all of a sudden you're having different issues. So as you can see, most of these forms are nothing particularly overly special. They're quite simple forms from Companies House point of view, but they can have quite a material impact if someone is doing something untoward towards your company, if they're trying to steal or hijack your company. These are the things that hopefully will protect you. So hopefully, having got an understanding of what joining the proof scheme is, I would definitely strongly recommend that unless there is a specific reason you're not within this scheme, that you do join this scheme to just protect your company. As property investors and as people who have quite large assets and large portfolios potentially in our companies with quite considerable wealth and equity hopefully in those properties, it's probably quite a crucial one to just tick that box. Takes a couple of minutes, and then hopefully it just minimises any chance that our companies are going to be those 50 to 100 each month that get hijacked, and it protects that wealth for you and your future generations, depending what your plan is for your company into the future. Hopefully today you've discovered what proof is and whether it is right for your company to help protect against the fraudsters out there in the world. If you have any questions, then do please leave a comment. Please like the video and do subscribe to the channel, and let's make tax less taxing.